400k, £400,000 a week. Antonio Rudiger is going to be getting from this club. You can have him. You can have him. Do not match that, Chelsea. Do not do it. Welcome to the Kavkas View, and today's video is an interesting one. We've got one update regarding Antonio Rudiger's contract. Yes, 400k. I can't believe that this is happening. Another club rules themselves out of signing Antonio Rudiger, and the update of what Chelsea are offering him. Story number 2, Reece James is injured, and apparently it's 4 to 6 weeks out. I'm going to explain what happened, what it could have been, and how we're lucky it's only 4 to 6 weeks. And finally, we are going to talk about what went wrong against Manchester City, and more importantly, how you guys are overreacting. You know, a lot of people in the DMs, in the comments, on Twitter are overreacting. Like, I thought I was angry after the game, but I calmed down. But you lot are ridiculously overreacting. It's not that deep, it's one defeat. I will explain why and ease your nerves. And at the end of this 10 minutes, you will be calm and you will understand we are winning the league. But for all of this, all I ask for is a little nice gesture from hit the like button. Look, the target for this video is 200 likes. And the reason it's 200 is because I need that magic number consistently. Then we can move it up to 250, 300, and so on. It really helps. YouTube really appreciates it. So please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, because the road to 15k continues before the end of this year. Something mad has to happen for us to hit it. Be the reason it happened. Be the reason. But let's move on with the video. Alright, so unless you've been living under a rock, you understand how good Antonio Rudiger is. Rudiger is a player that I was very happy to let go under Frank Lampard, to a player that I'm like, wow, can we live without him? Yes, it's that deep. Can we replace him? But this is big news that's coming out. We've been knowing for a while now that Antonio Rudiger wants more money. And the reason he wants more money is because Chelsea are offering him £140,000 a week, what Andreas Christensen signed. The issue here is, Rudiger says I want more, and I don't blame him. Brother, get your change, get that bag, and ensure your financial security for as long as you can, because it's not a long career. But since he's a free agent now, and all of a sudden there's interest around him, because look, he's an asset. A lot of people want this asset. A lot of people understand what he brings to the table. A lot of people understand that Rudiger is a great defender. Bayern Munich were interested, but I don't know whether it's the wages, I don't know whether it's their current choices, because their sporting director, Hassan, I can't pronounce his surname, is actively saying, look, I'm not interested. We have already got enough centre-halves. We have got enough in Pavard, in a great signing in Upamecano. We have got, and he names a few defenders already, right? So for him, they're out the running. But there's one team that's willing to go above and beyond. Have a guess who it is. Have a guess. Real Madrid. You guessed it right. Real Madrid are willing to offer him 400k, £400,000 a week. And Rudiger would be stupid to let that money go. Rudiger would be an absolutely maniac if he lets that money go. A lot of people can say, what are you talking about? He's playing for one of the best teams in the world. Yes, but Real Madrid is calling. And when they're calling, you answer the phone. And more importantly, when 400,000 a week compared to the 140 that Chelsea are currently offering you, there's no decision to make. Peeps, he needs to take that money. Whether this is true or not, Marco is reporting it. I think this is true. They paid Alaba something crazy. I think it was 280 or 350, something stupid. And I can see them paying this fee. They don't care. They give the wages and they deal with the consequences later. So for me, I think Rudiger's as good as gone if this is true. Now we're talking about the injury, and the injury is really a sour point of the video, because Reece James is a phenomenal player, and Reece James is one we need. I think Reece offers us a lot of creativity on the side. He's not the optimal wing-back. We already know how I feel about our wing-backs. I think we need more attacking wing-backs if we're going to pursue with this system. But we're going to miss Reece James. Reece James got great crossing, great striking ability, can chip in with a goal here and there. But more importantly, his solidity in defence. He's a fantastic player, one that we've produced from our youth team. And I love the player, man. I really do. He's out for 4 to 6 weeks. And it's something that occurred with Jack Grealish in the first half. And he even came off straight away. It's a high knee sprain. We are lucky it's a high knee sprain and not a metatarsal rip. And we are lucky it's got nothing to do with the Achilles. Usually, apparently, things like this could break. But it does not look like it's broken because he left without a boot, which means it's a high sprain. High sprains usually take 6 to 4 weeks to recover. So that's a good news. Look, sometimes you have to count your chickens that it's not worse. Sometimes it's a blessing in disguise that God blessed him. He didn't get the worst injury, so he's fine. Everything's good. Now let's move on to some positives that we can take away. Look, a lot of you are overreacting. A lot of you use my video as a sign to vent and get at Tuchel. Was I upset? Yes, but like I said in the video, it's not the end of the world, but we need to discuss why things went wrong. And a lot of people didn't talk about why. A lot of people wanted to point fingers and blame. And it was stupid blaming as well. Like, Tuchel's not good enough. This is why we don't like him. What do you not like? We won a Champions League just 3 months ago. This is the manager we need to trust. This is the manager to help us build. But before we do that, we need to understand the key aspects of what went wrong. So let's do it. First of all, Tuchel said it obviously. It's on him. And I love this. When a manager takes the responsibility for what went wrong, you have to credit him. And he openly said, look, I made a mistake. This is my fault. I need to look at myself in the mirror and answer some questions. And he didn't go into detail with what went wrong because that's throwing the players under the bus. And that's losing his players from the dressing room. But more importantly, he pointed the finger to himself and no one else. And no one else got blamed. He didn't call out Marcus Alonso. He didn't call out any of the midfield for losing their battles. He didn't call out others. He said we were very compact from 0 to 20 meters for ourselves, and the rest of the pitch we were losing our battles. All of us were losing our battles, and that's unacceptable. But this is on me because I didn't select the right team, and that's damning. If you're one of those players that started, you should look in the mirror. The fact that your manager could openly say that. I think Antonio Rudiger hits it on the nail, on the head, right? He openly says it's not a systemic issue. It was an effort issue. And I think 100% it was an effort issue. Look, Pep set his team up in a fantastic way. They were motivated. They were charged. They lost 3 games to Chelsea. And Rudiger said, we weren't winning the 50-50s. We weren't winning our battles. They were quicker than us. They were stronger than us. And that is why we lost. And I respect that because it means if he can see it, they will fix it. They are pros. They are not going to get embarrassed again. That's what happened to them. They got embarrassed. And a lot of us don't want to accept that. A lot of us would rather live in naivety to hide behind the reasons we lost. The players just weren't good on that day. We came up against a great manager in Pep Guardiola and he beat Tuchel. It's 3-1. This is going to happen. We win some, you lose some. Doesn't make it right. Yeah? Jenny Aiko and Big Sean have a great song, Win Some, You Lose Some. Go listen to it. It happens. And I think it's important that we understand that. But I'm going to give you some positives to hold on to, alright? Positive number 1. Compared to last season, at this moment in time, we are 3 points ahead. We have got 13 points from the games that we played last year compared to the 10 that we would have got last year. So, what does this mean? It means things are going in the right way. Positive number 2. We've played big games away from home. We've played Spurs, Liverpool and Arsenal away from home. Tick those off. We lost to Manchester City. That can happen. That happens. Every now and then that happens. Another positive. Positive number 3. We have conceded the 2nd least goals this year out of any team in the Premier League. We've conceded 2. 1 from open play, 1 from the penalty spot. That is great. The only team that's conceded more than us, Manchester City. Level on points with us. Not panic stations. We have scored the 3rd most goals. Level with Manchester City, who are God's given gift. Liverpool have scored 2 more goals than us. Much weaker run. Much weaker run of fixtures. What are you moaning about? We're going to play Norwich. We're going to play all these other Watfords, Newcastles. We will get this whipping boys soon. We just have to whip them. If we don't whip them, ask questions. Don't moan when we lose to Manchester City. And we lost 1-0. I know we were whooped, but remain positive.